Once upon a time, out of necessity, most everybody lived on a farm. 100 years ago, when the Alabama Farmers Federation was formed, only about a third of Americans identified themselves as farmers. And today, that's dropped to less than 2% of the population. This means that few people know what it takes to produce their food, clothing, and shelter. But the Alabama Ag in the Classroom project is educating educators on agriculture so that they can pass that information along to their students.
One of the perks of being a teacher is having summers off work. These teachers, however, are using part of their vacation learning about Alabama's #1 vocation, agriculture.
We have about 80 teachers in attendance. We have been to the Blue Ribbon Dairy Farm where attendees learned about the dairy production and they saw a cow being milked and they were able to taste ice cream. Now we're at Whippoorwill Vineyards and everyone gets to see how the processing of wine is done and where the vineyards are grown.
For nearly 20 years, kindergarten through 6th grade teachers have taken field trips to farms across Alabama and learned fun new crafts that literally bring agriculture into the classroom.
In 17 years, we have seen a lot of results of teachers who share things with their students, who will come up to us at different events that we host throughout the year and say, I didn't know how peanuts were grown until I read a book that you gave to me, or I didn't know where row crops were grown in the state, or I didn't know a certain fact about animal agriculture. So we are thrilled that we're able to give information to those teachers that they can share with their students about all kinds of animal agriculture, also things that are grown and produced in our state.
Teachers say these are the type lessons students need to learn at a young age.
If you were to go to a metropolitan area and you go into a classroom and you say, where do you get milk? Out of a carton. Okay. Where do you get your vegetables? At the grocery store. They have no idea where it's grown or how it's produced. So we need to teach children as much as we can about the good earth, what God has given us, how to use it, how to replenish it, and how to keep it fertile for those down the road.
Even educators that don't teach lessons on a daily basis say this event helps them do their jobs better.
At the State Department of Education, we have a farm to preschool program, and so I wanted to know about more of the farms, what goes on the farms, to be able to get the information and pass it on to our schools and preschools and family daycare centers.
The Summer Institute is open to teachers across Alabama, and best of all, it's free.
All of the materials that we give them and their hotel expenses and their meals, that's all covered by the Ag in the Classroom steering committee, and funds come from the Alabama Farmers Ag Foundation in addition to the education budget that we get from the state.
Next year's Summer Teachers Institute will be June 1st through 3rd at the Robert Trent Jones Resort in Opelika again, and tours will be of farms in East Alabama.
Applications are available on the Ag in the Classroom website, which is alabamaAITC.org, and they'll be accepted between January 1st and April 15th.
Stacey Little's recipes always have two things in common. They're simple and they're delicious. Up next on Simply Southern, the man behind SouthernBite.com is taking that simple thing to another level with slow cooker beef and noodles.
Welcome to Alabama's Smart Yards. We're creating beautiful landscapes that protect natural environments. Why? Because it's the smart thing to do. Today, Danny Carroll will talk about container gardens. Whether it's vegetables or flowers, you need to know your mix.
Container gardening for both flowers and vegetables has become increasingly popular. And once we've chosen the right container for our plant, it's time to choose the correct potting medium. The best potting mix for containers is one that is soilless. Literally, it contains no soil at all. An all-purpose commercial potting mix composed of peat moss, vermiculite, and/or perlite is generally recommended. It drains well, but also has moisture-holding properties. These soilless medias are free of disease pathogens, insect pests, and weed seeds. Pay attention to the bag when you're purchasing in the store. It's very easy to confuse a potting mix with an in-ground garden soil. Bagged garden soils contain topsoil, also organic materials, but they are used for amending in-ground gardens. These are not well suited for container gardening as they will become compacted and too dense for plant roots to grow. The same is true for compost. Compost alone should not be used in containers. While compost can be used in a potting mix, it will become compacted as well. Shredded pine bark, another ingredient in the potting mix, should also not be used alone. It will not hold any water or nutrients in the container. Be sure and thoroughly wet the potting mix before you plant and fertilize accordingly if your potting mix does not have a fertilizer incorporated. Container gardens can be really successful with the right supplies.
What sustains us? Food? Family? Faith. Alabama farmers live those things every day. They conserve our resources, clothe our families, and fill our tables. They cultivate jobs for our communities and values for our future. Farmers grow it all right here in Alabama.
What one thing can you say about your local quality co-op store? You can trust us. You get what you need for your farm, for your lawn and garden, and the safest products for your pets. We're locally owned and operated, and you can trust that we care about our community and the people in it. So if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, the Quality Co-op Store has exactly what you need to get the job done. All this plus friendly, knowledgeable advice. Your Quality Co-op Store. There's one near you.
If you need health insurance for any reason, the experts at Alpha Health can help. Understanding your health insurance options is not always easy, but they can even assist you in applying for subsidies to cover a portion of the cost. Plus, Alpha Health can help you sign up for a Medicare supplement and Part D prescription drug plan. During the special enrollment period, call Alpha Health at 800-392-5705.
A farmer has to live on faith. We do all we can do, but we can only control so much.
Alabama is the second largest poultry growing state in the nation, so we're trying our best to grow all the corn we can for that.
What we produce not only feeds and clothes all of the United States, but about half of what we make goes on to the world market.
We've been able to improve yields, have some things that can help us produce a better crop. I'm proud of the product we make and proud that I can say I'm an Alabama farmer.
For more Simply Southern, follow us on social media. And while you're online, visit our website, simplysouthern.tv.net. Simply Southern continues in a moment.
Sweet Grown Alabama is such an amazing brand. It'll be great for consumers to be able to connect immediately with an Alabama grown or made product.
Sweet Grown Alabama, what it means to us is community. By buying Sweet Grown Alabama, you are able to support your community and kind of play your part and help the farmers.
There's a huge advantage just to your local community by buying local, whether it's local farms or local businesses.
Find Sweet Grown Alabama farms, markets, restaurants, and stores near you at sweetgrownalabama.org.